TV character you guys want to see, which is who is the star of this update. But before we get to him, let's jump straight into the new characters that were added in this update. Starting with Katy. So Tim, what can you tell us about Katy in this look, if anything?
Well, you and I agreed that we would not be spoiling Shang-Chi at all.
That is true.
Stream. So you can watch the stream and not worry about that, at least from us. I have committed to not spoiling anything, but Katy is actually Shang-Chi's very old, good friend. And that's about as far as I can go with that.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, because of it, we're keeping it a spoiler-free stream. We're going to be very limited on, of course, of the background information that we can share. So with that said, we're just going to jump straight into the skills that make Katy Katy. And before I jump into that, one unique thing in terms of passive skills, something that's helpful is her leadership skill, which is the perfect teamwork, in that it provides Shang-Chi a 60% buff to his basic attack. So she's definitely going to be a good support for Shang-Chi. Also, I might end up mispronouncing his name. Apparently it is Shang-Chi, so I'll make sure I get that correct.
Well, you're learning, and I appreciate the effort.
Thank you. And here we have Katy. She's all set to go. She is a speed superhero, if you haven't figured that out already. So we'll go ahead and start with her skill number 1, which is the quick blow. She just jumps up in the air, delivers a quick arrow, and that causes the enemy to be stunned. Skill number 2 is the countless arrows. Let's see how this goes.
Whoa.
I lost count of the arrows that were used.
I could not count them. There were so many.
I think that makes it appropriately named. As you can see this as well, this countless barrage of arrows does at least 30% bleed damage for every second that the skill is active. Now let's hit up skill number 3. Let's move on to these guys over here.
Oh, nice.
Okay, get a nice little buff there. Let's take a look at that again. This is the Promise of Justice. This grants 100% damage immunity while also increasing your basic attack.
Do like justice.
Gonna move on over here to one of my personal favorite skills. So this is the powerful arrow. So take a look at this. So what's interesting about this skill, this is a skill that can actually be better implemented by pushing and holding the skill. So take a look at the arrow as I use the skill over here. So how far does the arrow go? You can see it doesn't go that far.
Whoa.
So if I'm gonna actually push and hold the skill, let's follow how far this arrow goes. That's right.
Oh, hey.
By pushing and holding the skill, this arrow actually goes through past the map and beyond. So that, like I said, by pushing and tapping the skill, it provides more of a buff there, and gives up to 50% bleed damage for every second that is active, paralysis, briefly ignoring your target's immunity, along with a chance to penetrate their super armor and increasing your overall basic attack and defenses.
Did you mention before that this is not exactly the live build?
So that's a quick note here. Of course, players notice something a little bit different about this stream is that the patch notes are actually also live currently on the forum. So something to keep notice, some of the information that we may share here may differ from the information that's currently on the patch notes, and then it might even differ from the live build itself as information continues and stats continue to be changed over time. So just keep that in mind. So some of the information we may share may end up being a little bit different when the build goes live later on tonight. So just something to keep that in mind. I'll do a little refresh here. Alright, let's move on to skill 5. Did I say skill 5? Yes, this is skill 5, which is the storm shooting.
Oh!
Yep, we're gonna try that again. Move on to these guys over here. She fires a few shots in the air and it just rains down from above. Again, this is another stunning attack that causes bleed damage. At the same time, it also decreases your enemy's defense. So it makes this skill actually more interesting. We're actually going to move on to the dev notes and see what they have to say, because they elaborate more on this skill. It is the skill 5 arrows, which we just performed, will continue to rain even if you cancel. It is then best to use skill 4 to obtain the penetration buff or combine it with other skills. So let's go ahead and take a look at that with other skills. So we're going to fire it once, another skill. As you can see, regardless of the skill I use, the arrows continue to rain down, so it allows us to come up with different combinations of skills while also obtaining that buff. So recommended skill combination we have is skill 3 cancel, 5 cancel after shooting the arrow in the sky, and then full charge. Let's try it.
Okay.
Skill 3, get that buff. I'm aiming the wrong direction. Let's try that again. Then as this arrows come down.
I don't mean to alarm you, but my cat is in the room.
Oh no, the cat's in the room. You have a surprise. Yes, hello cat. What is your cat's name again?
Her name is Minnie, but
Minnie.
maybe she won't come on screen.
Okay, I get that. Little guest star. Nothing wrong
You
with
and
that.
I were talking before, and I was like, no, the cat won't show up. And yeah, okay.
There's nothing wrong with a little guest appearance from the cat. Everyone knows that. She's more than welcome. Anyway, that does it
I
for
want to
Katy.
focus on our next character, actually.
All right.
Thank you, Cage.
Calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and